live with Dragon. A little bit of spit on that one. Hopefully that camera didn't pick that up. Today is Sunday, the 13th of August. Typically speaking, on Sundays is when I do my check-ins. However, the family has a plague. So everybody in the house is sick. Set aside the dragon. Could be my Viking-like power. Could be my red beard. Could be my anabolic activity. I don't know. Could just be that I'm all powerful except for my Achilles heel, which of course is my lower back. But I'm taking care of them. But I did want to pop out and make a video so I could still be productive. Check-ins are going to basically be hopefully towards the end of the night when everybody goes to bed and the baby's down for the night. Today's video is, why is my herniated disc not healing? It's a very general question, but just to add a little bit of background, I am a part of some Facebook channels in regards to lower back, and every single day I'll get an update from somebody who's basically explaining their situation, or another post, but it's very frequent. There's also herniated disc for youngsters, herniated disc support group. I'm sure some of you might even be a member of one of those groups, but I see the same consistency in these posts every single day. And I think there's a lot of consistencies in the people that are posting about this issue. So I want to jump on here. Why is my herniated disc not healing? And I'm going to cover a few topics. I don't want to get too much into the weeds with each individual topic, but I do want you to start thinking about it for yourself and start analyzing how these specific topics, where you could be doing a really good job in, and then maybe where you're a little bit lacking. So 5 topics: nutrition, mobility, strength, eliminating external stressors, and then supplementation / medication. So I'll go down piece by piece, and we can get into it a little bit more into the comments section, but I want you to start thinking for yourself. One of the best things that happened to me in terms of like being able to run my life was the introduction of bodybuilding, as it applies to how disciplined you need to be successful, right? Bodybuilding created structure. Now that structure can now be applied to my LLC. It could be applied to my lower back health, obviously. It obviously can be applied to bodybuilding, muscle gaining, all that fun stuff. But ultimately, bodybuilding is structure. And how detailed and how consistent you can be within that structure is what separates good bodybuilders from shit bodybuilders. And I think that's the same thing for all of life. So, for instance, on the channel, right? Nutrition. Ask yourself, do you have a set amount of macronutrients that you're trying to hit every single day, right? What are macronutrients? If that's coming up for you, then it sounds like you need to do a little bit more investigation, okay? Do you have a certain amount of calories that you're trying to hit day in and day out, depending on your expenditure throughout the day? Or are you just eyeballing it? Are you measuring your food? Are you not measuring your food? Do you have GI distress? Do you have a habit of snacking at night? This all falls within the bubble of nutrition. But I think the large thing I'm trying to get for everybody to understand in terms of nutrition is, if you don't have a plan, you can't micromanage energy input and energy output, okay? And that same effect will essentially be how fast you heal, right? If you have perfect protein breakdown, you're allowing your body to heal at the fastest capacity possible. And if your carbohydrate intake is too low, maybe you have no energy throughout the day. Maybe if your carbohydrate's too high, maybe you're accruing extradigital fat, which is then compounding stress on your spine. Nutrition. I feel like this video could go really long, so I'm going to try to not get so sunk into the weeds here. Mobility, same concept. Maybe you are looking at your nutrition. You're like, I need to lose a few pounds. Start doing the dieting thing. Hopefully it's not a cookie cutter plan and it's individualized to you. But for mobility, right? This is kind of where PT is important for people to look for outside external help, if you will, with a physical therapist. But that's just the foundation. If you're doing that once a week, twice a week, whatever the case may be, that's not enough, okay? You need to create a foundation of volume for you that makes you feel good and sets you up for success for the rest of the day. So my recommendation in terms of that is set number of volume in the morning, set number of volume in the afternoon, and a set number of volume at night, if your body can tolerate it. But at the end of the day, structure, structure, structure. This is kind of what I always kind of circle back to, is like, if this is too much for you and you're just concentrated on being able to heal as fast as you can, that's why coaching services are available from an online standpoint, and also from, I'm sure there's local vendors near you as well. Strength. I can't speak enough about how important strength training is. Now, unfortunately, strength training, like anything in life, if you do too much of it, it can actually lead to the issue. And probably in my case, in every single situation, I have continued to push numbers so aggressively that I am probably compromising form, compromising mobility, and that's when I get pushback in this shape of horrible herniated discs. So, but on the same end of the other spectrum is if you're doing no strength training, you're creating a situation where you are a walking time bomb. Regardless if you let the issue heal, it's only going to come back maybe even worse, because now you have zero strength back there, and the wrong movement for picking up something for it could literally put you in twice as much pain. So the middle path is, I think, is what we're trying to do, okay? You want to be obviously towards the high end of the spectrum when it comes to structure, but middle path in terms of your strength training, mobility, and also the nutrition side. Number 4, eliminate external stressors. One of the hardest things to do probably when you get a herniated disc is the lack of pretty much everything, right? You're bedridden, you're bedridden, you can't do the same things that you love doing, whether it's sports, maybe it's training, picking up your baby, the list goes on and on. At the end of the day, you're sidelined, right? You are in a position where rest is needed to a certain extent, but you still got to get your ass up and you got to get moving. External stressors can look like saying no to some things that you want to do, but you can't do, right? Whether that's an outdoor activity, maybe that's moving shit around the house, and someone's struggling around you, your first instinct is, let me help you with that. It's like, if your body's not in a position to do that yet, you have to eliminate that external stressor, okay? I think on top of the external stressor thing, it's like, when you are resting, are you icing? Are you heating? Are you creating an advantageous healing environment throughout the healing process? I think all in all, I think the last video I made was 18 weeks of my most recent herniated disc, and I posted an update on my Instagram about me doing belt squats. So 4 months later, or 18 weeks later, however, 4 months, wherever it would change, I'm almost 90% healed. Versus maybe when I first hurt my back 10 years ago, it took like 2 years to heal. So the progression of being able to get better and better at the healing process is there, and you can take it, you can seize that opportunity, but it's going to come at, obviously, discipline changes in your behavior that grow as time moves on. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but huge thunderbolt and lightning, lightning in the distance. Last thing, supplementation and medication. So I posted a video about peptides. I think peptides are important. Unfortunately, for the lower back and disc-related issues, I don't know how good peptides are. I didn't run the experiment long enough to really reap the benefits, but I would say that having optimal testosterone levels, making sure that you are having a surface level amount of vitamins going into the body in the morning, or however else you want to do it, is important. It's like everything. You need to have a regimen. I think I take like a 12-pill regimen every single morning. Now, obviously, mine's a little bit different because I'm trying to grow tissue while simultaneously healing my lower back. But ultimately, supplementation is there. Fish oils, multivitamins, citrus bergamot, berberine if you're worried about carbohydrates. There is stuff that's available, and they are worth it. So it is a monetary investment, but I definitely think it's worth it. Medication. Big on medication when you first have the issue. I think that pain is inevitable, and you need to get it to a point where it is bearable enough to be able to move. With more movement comes, obviously, your ability to load the spine. You're walking more. But if you're in such great amount of pain that you're just sitting your ass in bed all day, surely that is counterproductive to the healing experience. So, as I mentioned before, I'm off all anti-inflammatories. I do use kratom 2 times a day, once in the morning, kind of give me a little extra boost of motivation, but it does have a bit of a pain sparing effect as well. Not suggesting you try it, I'm just saying that's what I use. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. I like to keep my videos within 10 minutes, but ultimately what I'm trying to continue to speak to the audience and also maybe reiterate to people on these forums is like, people get into the habit of complaining about their pain, and then when they complain about their pain, they are looking for somebody else to then like complain about their pain as well. So that way there's like this I don't know, like collective experience where people are suffering. I think that's good in the sense that, yeah, get that off your chest, get that emotional burden off of you, but just complaining about your pain and then being like, I can't wait to have surgery. At the end of the day, your movement patterns are probably compromised, right? I know mine were horrific. When I went from 230 to 270, and it wasn't fat gain, it was muscle. I was huge. Deadlifts were huge, squats was huge, everything was great. But because my mobility suffered, it was only a matter of time before my back exploded, and it did. So we've gotten ourselves into this situation. We have to get ourselves out of this situation. Unfortunately, I don't think the medical industry really gives a shit, to be honest with you. I don't think they care. I think that it's the conveyor belt. Let's get you a shot, which, you know, has little to no effect. Let's get you, cut you open, and maybe it removes some of the pain down the leg because they're getting rid of that. Or what I was told on the most recent one is that it's going to take forever to heal, 2 years. You'll never be the same. The same shit I've been hearing for 8 to 10 years. But sure enough, sitting down, I've been moving all day today. I moved, you know, and this is after my first leg day. After my first leg day. And everything is feeling good. I feel the power is coming back. So you hear a bunch of different things, right? Hopefully what I'm trying to get everybody to understand is with mobility, with regimentation, I don't know if that's a word, with consistency, you're going to move in the right direction. At the speed and rate at which you heal is going to be completely dependent on you and your ability to, I guess, move, right? Move through those stressors. This is a long topic that can be explained for an even longer duration. So let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As I do, I always reply to the comments, and we'll go from there. Dragon House.